So this Christmas activity is actually making what I think is quite a nice little Christmas present for somebody using old maps. So we're going to basically make like a coaster like that you can put your hot cup of tea on or a drink or whatever you like on this, or just have it at the side of wherever you're working, just as a nice little reminder of kind of scouting, or depending on the map, it could be a memory of a particular place. So in order to make this, what we need is a tile. So these are just from B&Q, nice tile there. We've got some old maps here that we can cut up. So obviously we need some scissors in order to cut them up, and then some PVA glue and paintbrush, and that's what we're going to use. We might use some varnish at the end, and I'll explain different ways you can finish this off. We also need a little bit of this, which is foam, to put on the bottom just as feet to stop it scratching on a wooden surface if that's where somebody wants to place it. These have been recycled, so again, nothing is kind of being chucked away here, so we are using recycled materials. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to cut our map. Now these particular maps are absolutely fantastic because the actual size of the map fits quite nicely with our tile. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what we're looking for. All right, a 6 by 6. So the piece of map. Now you can, depending on how I've cut these out, you can cut these straight down 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and cut there. But actually, this particular piece of map has got a lovely hill in the middle of it, and I'd quite like that to feature in the center. So I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3 that way, and I'm going to cut there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm cutting it at that point there. So first of all, let's cut all the way along that one, and then so I'm just very carefully going along the line, the grid line on the map, like that. Okay, so now I've got to decide where my other 6, because at the moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think I'm actually going to keep more of this side. So I'm going to take one off of this side. So it's really important that you double check that you've got 6 by 6, just like that. All right, now these bits of map, these can be kept. Don't be throwing those away. You can use them for another little project another time. Okay, so next we just get some PVA glue, and we're going to put that all over the back. It's really important that you get the sides of this. So I'm just absolutely covering it, but you don't want it to be soaking. It doesn't matter if the glue goes on the front either, and I'll explain why in a second. But we're getting the glue on our map. Make sure we've got all the corners, all the edges, perfect. Okay, and then we put it in place. Now there should just be a little bit of white showing up on each edge, but not much, just a little bit. There we go. So really important at this stage that we try and get all of the air bubbles out. All right, we don't want any air bubbles in this. So I'm just pushing from the center out to the sides, and then we've got our map stuck down. Remember to go right on the edge where we have put glue. We don't want any bits that are kind of to stick up. We want to catch all of the edges so they stick onto the tile. Okay, now at this point here I'm going to flip it right over, And I'm going to take our little bits of foam here, so recycled foam, and I'm just going to cut some little squares out on here. So one, I'm just going to just pop that to one side and cut another two like that. Okay, and again, just using a little bit of the PVA glue, I'm just going to stick these into the four corners of the tile. Like I said before, that's just going to stop the tile from damaging the table. If you're going to put it on a table, just gives it a little bit of protection. Okay, and last one, just like that. Okay, so obviously with glue it does need to dry, but we can carry on with what we're doing at this point. Just be careful, we don't want to move the little feet around too much. So at this point here, we're going to need to seal this map, and we can do that in a couple of ways. There's various different products that you can use, but actually you can just use some PVA glue. All right, and that's what I'm going to do on this one. Again, really important that you don't put too much on. Okay, it doesn't want to be soaked, but we're just putting like a protective seal over the top. So again, really important that we cover the whole of the map, and we're trying to make sure that it's all going to be waterproofed. So just a light kind of brush over the top like that. Like I said, you can use other products. I've got some clear varnish here like that, so I've used that before. It doesn't look clear when you shake it up, but it does when it goes on. That's quite useful. But like I say, you can just use PVA just to waterproof it, and then you leave that to dry, and that's it.